Are we live?
Oh man.
Is the button pressed?
Did you hit the button? Is the button hit? Press.
Buttons
smash?
hit, pressed, and all the other things you can do to a button. We're live.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Ship those games.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're ready.
Ship.
Please.
Hey, welcome to Real Deal Xbox Podcast, guys. It's going to be a great show, and I know that things have been a little weird lately with Xbox and PlayStation, and are fighting and arguing, and and we even had our own little debate last week on the show. But this week we're gonna have a ton of other stuff like that, and some good news. We got a good panel, right? We got some new news that actually just hit, and we've got a phenomenal chat. Probably the best new news and phenomenal chat around. So again, guys, if you're joining us,
new news.
hit the like button. Maybe tell a buddy or two about it on Twitter. Tell them we're live.
Okay.
And of course, let us know your thoughts as we do some introductions. Fonzarelli, how you been?
I've been good. It's Tuesday. I'm happy to be here. Let's just get into it, man.
All right. Hey, we've also got D Batch. How you been?
I'm good, man. Just like Fonz, we got some really good topics this week. I can't wait to dig into the Phil Spencer stuff. So let's just get on with it.
By the way, you gotta give a big shout out because I know we're not always around. We're playing games and got a lot of shit going on or stuff like that. But I gotta give a shout out to the people in the chat. Seriously, Assassin, Timmy, Toolman, KY, Bob, all kinds of people in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. I seriously mean it. Hey, Zalker, another week, another podcast.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. We actually have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Another week, another mic.
Another mic. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Jesus.
We're gonna have to figure that shit out. It's pretty basic.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm not home, so fuck me.
All right. Well, just whisper or go into your settings. And
I'm here playing games.
Hey, and then we've also got Tim Dog, brother. How you been?
Doing good. Happy to be here. We got a lot to talk about. Like Fonz says, let's just get to it.
Yeah, let's just get to it after these shout outs real quick. And we got Fear. This is a patron shout out here. We got Fierce Fuzz, Hard Geek. We got Boba Fett Gaming, Reluctant Dodo, Nerdy Meathead, Dub Mobile, Ruben Almighty, Ricky Fallon, Fault Lines, Not Silex, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath, Zordon, Costanza, KY Bob, as well as Goose 8402 Strike, Khalifa Assassin, Lupa Foreign Object, Gab Quiz, Teo, John Blue, Vec Boss, Real Deal Neil. Shout out to these guys. I mean, they've been around forever, but Real Deal Neil's Suicide Kings, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. That will update on the 5th of this month. So if you're new, that will show up, and I'll be working with a few other people. But big shout out to you guys. I'm going to be putting the giveaway stuff for Patreon up probably tonight or tomorrow in the Discord. Bonds, are you rushing me in my own show right now?
No, not at all. I'm just, emphasizing it.
I'm just going to emphasize that let me fucking finish this shit. All right. Giveaway stuff, Discord. All right. But you know what, Bonds, since you're so eager to jump into this, 800 million Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 just raked in over the weekend. They're saying it outdid Top Gun, Maverick, as well as Doctor Strange combined in a single weekend.
It's gaming, man. Gaming is a freaking powerhouse. It's you can't beat the medium right now. This is the media to consume out there. Everybody knows it. Gaming has taken over. I'm not surprised. But people that are playing this game are really talking it up, and word of mouth catches on. And we know Call of Duties always sell well, but right now, with the good word of mouth out there, with people really enjoying the game, it's obvious that it was going to sell a lot.
What about the Sony guys though? Because they didn't have a good word of mouth. I mean, as a matter of fact,
last
I recall, they were boycotting this game, and it's Xbox stuff, right?
Why were they boycotting it? Why? Because it was going to go to Xbox someday. Come on. They're not fooling anybody. They were first in line. They were standing there waiting for their CODs and their little COD outfits and their little Modern Warfare outfits and stuff. Onesies. Yep. They were standing there waiting. Maybe even some. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's COD. It always sells really well. This one is actually really good.
Hang on, this one did more than really well. This crushed records on PlayStation even.
Well, I mean, again, it's about damn time. Like, people wanted this COD really bad, and when it came out and people played it, they were like, "This is great." And again, that travels, man. Word of mouth is there's nothing like it. And when people said it was good, people flock to buy it. And yeah, it's just good to have some good games to play right now. It really is. It's awesome. I have not played COD myself, but for those of you playing and enjoying it, enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really well done, man. It's really well done. I've been playing a lot of multiplayer with friends and everything, and even like crossplay. I've played with like Shady. I've played with my buddies on PC. Everything just works to the T. Like it just works flawlessly, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, we played a lot over the weekend, or especially Friday night. And I gotta say, man, they did a really good job with this one. And I'm gonna throw this out there: if anyone played the original Call of Duty, I'm talking about the first ever one that was World War II. There's a map called Newville. They built that map again, but made it modern for this one.
From the ground up.
From the ground, dude. It is PS5. Newville, and I didn't know it was Newville. It's a different name. I forgot the name, but it's out there. And I was like, wait, this is Newville. And I was running around. I knew every little nook and cranny because that's what I played a lot of COD back in the day. And I was just so happy, and it's just so good. I can't even wait for this month, right? Like Warzone's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking forward to that. Like the game is just beautiful, runs well, performance is very well done. The servers were ready. Like I didn't get that many like crashes until they did some maintenance. I think they did like really late at night, but again, that's really late at night where there's not a lot of people on. So yeah, man, they did a fucking bomb ass job, and it's no surprise it sold this well. Everybody's been waiting for it. It has the hype.
Even on PlayStation, you know, it's no surprise because I mean we're talking about a bunch of guys that are willing to pay $80 to $150 for remasters over there. So of course they're gonna fucking buy COD for $70. That's not toxic. I'm being factual.
Zucker nailed it on the head. The performance is great. The game looks phenomenal. I would say it's definitely much more in line with how a game should run for how good it looks, as opposed to some other games that have come out recently. I'll also say that there are some glitches, but they're kind of minor at the moment. You can play with no crossplay. If you go into your Xbox settings, go to General tab, go to Online Multiplayer, blah, blah, blah. You can basically block system-wide crossplay, but there are very few lobbies. And that was going really well, actually. I was trying it out with some people that told me about it. And then we noticed some guys jumping in there that were doing the same thing that were like really fucking good, just grinding their KDs up. So you're probably more safe without crossplay at the moment, because those crackheads in there. But I will say the game is beautiful. The multiplayer runs really, really well. Handles great. You all have probably played it. 800 million outdoing Top Gun and Doctor Strange combined in the first. That's nuts, D-Batch.
Insane. Those numbers are just insane. And now you see why Sony is so fearful of Microsoft buying Activision. This is a juggernaut. $800 million. That's a lot of money. And I got to say, it's well deserved. This is one of the best Call of Duties that I've played. There was like most Call of Duties, I just kind of breezed through it. It's not really challenging. And there were some parts here where I was like, damn it. There was a few parts that were a little bit challenging. Like I had to do it a few times before I got it right. And the graphics, we all know the graphics are incredible. The cutscenes, oh my gosh, it's like photorealistic. Like it's just such a good game, and it runs good on the Xbox Series S. It runs well on the Xbox Series X.
It runs at 120 frames on console.
It runs more stable on the Xbox Series X than the PlayStation. And not to say it runs terrible on the PlayStation. It's still getting well over 100 FPS, but it's just solid 120 FPS on the Series X. And I just think it's well deserved. And I was talking to you guys before the show, like I don't understand these guys that reviewed this game, how some of them gave it a bad score. I don't know what they're expecting out of Call of Duty. I don't know what they expect out of their games, but I need a game to be fun. I need the story to reel me in. And if it's a first-person shooter, I need the gunplay to be precise and just feel good. And this game, it just feels right.
Feels really good.
Some of the sevens that I saw out of there, out of the review, Metacritic crap. I don't understand how they came to a 7. This is, for me right now, it's a solid 8.5. I don't want to say it's a 9 yet because I got to dig more into the multiplayer and see how everything is playing out. But right now, it's a solid 8.5.
Have you tried the co-op, D-Bench? Because that's what you're seeing on screen right now, the co-op running on the Xbox Series X. We're messing around, doing the dumbest shit you could think of. I just crawled up to a roof, and there was a stack of red barrels up there for some reason. I said, I'm not getting blown up by this shit. So I jumped off. But, yeah, if you haven't tried the co-op, it's 2-player only. Took us a second to figure that out because one of the missions is kind of confusing. They got AI in there with names hovering above their head and stuff. But I mean, again, it's a blast. It looks good. Let us know if you played it.
You know,
And again, 800 million. That's impressive, Tim. I mean, what do you think from the people? Again, a lot of guys were boycotting this thing. They were shitting all over it, but they're playing it right now, hiding offline.
Yeah, I got actually blocked by one of the persons that I knew for years, and he totally went soft on me.
What?
Blocked me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, blocked me because I put up an absurd tweet of his that I clipped, and basically saying I'm done with the Call of Duty, Microsoft. It was just basically a silly tweet. Meanwhile,
It didn't happen.
Meanwhile, we all know that was cap, because basically everyone's getting this game. It's doing, if you guys remember last Call of Duty, everyone was kind of like, it's down, it's losing numbers. This might be the demise of Call of Duty. Well, lo and behold, this is basically approaching a 1 billion, over the weekend, deal. You know what I mean? It's that they have 800 million. As we pointed out, it beat out Top Gun, whatever 3 other movies were involved. It's just proving that gaming is it's blowing up, and Microsoft, they got a good one here, and I don't think that it was. I do believe Xbox and Phil when they say. Sorry about that. My I'm sorry. My throat's killing me.
Oh shit. You all right?
No, yeah. It just goes to show you that the mobile's the biggest part of the deal. I believe when they say that, and the Battlefront storefront as well. But Call of Duty, it's blowing up again, and it's good to see.
Yeah, you know what isn't good to see, and I just found this out during my show this Sunday, was the exclusive benefits. Like, I really never looked into what PlayStation players get, but it's kind of like pay to win. It's terrible. They get extra loadouts, double XP points, all kinds of stuff. Their battle pass bundle is crazy. Like, it's literally pay to win. And so, like, if you're playing crossplay with some of these guys, I would suggest turning that off. That's probably why you're getting your ass handed to you.
No, I played a bunch of PlayStation people and dropped 50 fucking kills on them.
But I'm just saying. Have you looked at the benefits? It's crazy the exclusives you get.
Now,
I mean,
you get that kind of stuff for buying like the $100 version of stuff, though.
Yeah, no wonder Sony doesn't want this to go away, man. This is a cash cow for them to money hat. And so they don't.
That's
want
all. That's all.
That's
all.
That's all it's about.
It's all about money hatting too.
Yeah,
the game's gonna stay on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Was Dunker, what were you saying?
No, I was gonna say that, like, at the end of the day, they still need to aim and shoot you, and they suck at that. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so and like that's the thing. Like, the funny thing about that is that when I was playing in multiplayer, because that's the most I played. I haven't played much of the campaign. I played like maybe 1 or 2 missions. I've just been sucked into the multiplayer. So like it's just so much fun. That I've seen a lot of good balance. Like my lobbies are filled with Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Battle.net people. Like, you could see the little icons, and it's filled with them. Like everybody across the board is playing this game right now. It is a very popular game.
What about the Switch users?
Those guys are in there too,
them?
but they have a little broken disconnect sign.
Sure, a little AAA action going on over there on the Switch.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
But they can't sustain themselves without it.
Yeah, I don't know. Nintendo's do just fine without Call of Duty. That was a great point brought up by Microsoft lawyers. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. It's something that I figured I would bring up. 800 million. That's impressive. It's what is it? The biggest COD launch ever.
Biggest
correct?
ever.
So, yeah, that's massive. And it beat Modern Warfare 3, one of the worst CODs ever. Apparently, that had the biggest launch before that.
Right now, Satya Nadella is just smiling, and he's rubbing his hands together, and he's like, I can't wait to get this in Game Pass.
You think he's saying that, or is he saying,
yes,
we can't do that for a while?
No,
we can't put it in Game Pass. But the good thing about like this whole thing, and it kind of like goes into what like Phil Spencer was saying, like Phil Spencer straight up said, like in an interview, he's like, is this clear enough? Kind of like he said, we are going to ship Call of Duty as long as there's a PlayStation to ship on.
Yeah.
And he said that, like, it's
and again,
full-fledged,
nothing new.
like it's done.
But
like,
eventually, But eventually the CODs will go to Game Pass. Not this particular
No,
one.
no.
but,
He's not
you
talking
know.
about like it'll go to Game Pass.
Probably
but,
in
like, I think
3 years.
in like 3 years probably,
Yeah.
or however long. But I think he's just saying like it's gonna be on PlayStation. Like we're like they're treating it like
Exactly.
he literally said Minecraft. So
yeah,
it's
the
just
game they
they're
haven't
gonna try
really
to put
released
it.
anything else of.
Well, yeah, they're just gonna make Minecraft go anywhere else, like wherever. Like it's gonna go everywhere.
We're treating it like Minecraft. Yeah, we haven't come out with a new one or anything, but it's
You know
still
what's
there.
shocking?
No, but go ahead, Fonz. I want to make a point.
No. I was just going to say it's kind of shocking the fact that, yeah, we know that COD always sells well, but this being like the best selling COD, it's like reinvigorating the franchise again. It's crazy that how big these numbers are when in a world where so many gamers are playing free to play games now, like Fortnite and Apex and stuff like that. Your COD's is still the juggernaut, still the king, coming out and selling so many like that.
And isn't
It's insane.
Warzone still free to play, right?
For Warzone
Yeah.
2 is not released yet, so this is like 800
Yeah,
million.
I'm
from
just
the
saying,
game.
like,
No,
isn't
I'm
Warzone
worried.
2 going to be free to play?
Yes,
though?
Warzone's
Right?
free to play,
Yeah.
but you also get to level up. Like I'm not too sure. Chat, keep me honest on this. You're able to unlock loadouts and guns and everything like that, and level up your guns, and then transfer that to Warzone, right? So
yeah.
that's why people are
Yeah.
playing. Like a lot of my friends are like, we're already almost like level 50 something.
Listen, even
Like,
if
we're going
even if
hard.
Warzone didn't exist, this would still be one of the biggest CODs of all time, and it goes to
It's
show you that
nuts.
this is why executives shouldn't chase trends, right? You want to release your traditional big full-fledged AAA game, right? Because even without your free-to-play mode, this thing is selling like crazy, and I'm not convinced it's entirely due to the free-to-play mode that it, not being there, that it is the case. I think that it's good news, but obviously we ain't getting paid for this. Bonds, I think that you should go out and make it $870 and pick yourself up a copy and try it out.
I bought it
800.
already.
What?
Get
He's
basically
saying
get,
he's like
buy a
he's
copy.
like get the game. He's like buy a copy.
Oh shit! Come on, it's $70. You know what? I'll look at the price on CD
So,
keys and see what it's like.
So, time out. Can we just say that Fonz is busy? Fonz, can you explain to the chat the game that you're enjoying
Oh
so
my
much
God.
and playing right now, please, sir?
It didn't happen.
Got him. Just so chat knows.
All right.
Go ahead, admit it, Fonz.
Fraudarelli, tell him how much
Fraudarelli,
you're
come on.
liking
No.
Gotham Knights.
Look. I don't have no problem talking about it. As we know, I've made fun of the trailers because of the dialogue, the cringy fucking dialogue, and the livin' La Vida Loca thing and everything. And I still make fun of that shit. However, Gotham Knights gameplay is good. And
You
I
like the
think the
story too, right?
reviewers have it wrong there. I think the ones that were saying that the gameplay was sluggish and everything, I don't think they played the game right. I don't think they knew how to do the combat and time the strikes right and
That's what I
use
said.
your everything to your advantage, because it's very fluid if you know how to do the combat. It feels really good, and there's an addictive nature to the game. Of course, getting that loot and those upgrades, which you can constantly upgrade all you want because you're constantly getting new shit. Like you're constantly getting stuff. You're not having to farm materials and things
I
like
want to
that.
jump back into this in more depth towards the end of the show. But long story short, right now, you're liking people mowing your grass over and over.
No, you only see that guy once, and you end up killing him, and that's it. You move on.
All
You
right.
don't kill
No,
him.
it's not a flip flop, people. It's not a flip flop. Look. I said the game didn't look good or whatever, and it didn't. Everybody was saying that. Everybody. And then people were playing it and going, "Oh, it's actually good." Yeah,
I didn't say it.
know,
Time out.
happens.
I didn't say that.
Wait
I
a
said I
second.
thought it looked good.
I like turtles.
Are people not allowed to
That's
change
because
their
you're a
minds?
fraud.
Hey,
No, D.
Zach-
Goddamn, bro.
Zachary, grab these chats and I'll transition. But again, shout out to almost 800 people already watching this live, guys. Hit the like button, tell everybody we're live. We do appreciate it. And of course, let us know your thoughts in the
It
comments.
just proves I'm not an asshole. I give games chances, guys. That's what it
save
proves.
it. Guys, stay tuned to the end. We'll definitely get all Fonz's thoughts and
Yeah,
and all
we'll
that
get
and whatnot.
everybody's
Just
thoughts
hold it all.
because I
Just
got a
hold it all.
lot of shit to say about it. You mother. No, I'm just kidding.
We got let me jump in. We got KY Bob member for 37 months. He says hit the like button, tell your buddy or two. Now let's hit those topics. Thanks,
Those
KY Bob.
topics.
We got Outbreak Podcast member 6 months says I really want to interview Zalker, Tim, and D-Batch for Outbreak Gamers. Fawns and Dealers interviews
Do
are
it,
up
bro.
now. RDX rocks. You want to interview my dumbass?
He's awesome.
Yeah, why would you want to
Dave is
do
awesome.
interviews out?
Yeah, I'm a fraud. I'll just lie the whole time.
Toddler.
They're trying to
so we
save you
got-
time, Outbreak. That's why they're not replying. Sorry.
We got Danny Passion Official. He says, loving Modern Warfare 2. Let's go panel. And then one just came in. We got Dark CMF. He says, for $20, hey chat, show some love for the best value in gaming entertainment. Hit the like button. I won't be in much. Hanging out at Dallas Stars game with Mavs tonight. Have a great show. Let's go Stars. The Mavs suck. Got you, Starrick. Thanks, man.
Docker doesn't know a lot about none of that. Don't worry about that. Thanks, Stark.
Really, Mr. Russell Wilson, damage controller.
I literally did not damage control. I just told you.
100%
I told you the history of him. All right. Anyway, hey, Zucker doesn't know much about these things, so we'll just come back to that later.
Listen, I play a lot of video games.
Hey, let's go ahead and move forward. All right. And again, chat. Let us know your thoughts. 800 million. Did you play Call of Duty? Are you enjoying it? Boba Fett's already prestige 50 times. He's already got four gold camos. He said Astray's liking it. He's kind of getting used to it, not accusing everyone of being a hacker. And of course, I, while not traditionally great at shooters, I'm okay sometimes depending on the day. But I'm enjoying it. It feels a lot like Modern Warfare 2019 in a lot of ways. But there's some little shit like the progression. Get 50 kills with a can opener. That way you can unlock a gun that you can get 14 kills and get that up to level 19 to unlock a scope for a different fucking gun. I need a breadcrumb trail to figure out what the hell's going on with the progression of the game. But I'm sure I will get used to how stupid it is, and maybe I'll update that later on. But
there's a whole a table thing that you can go through.
Yeah, I know, but there's progression tied to stuff that's not in that tree that you might want involving different guns.
I like
that have nothing to do with the tree, right? So this ain't Christmas, bitch. Xbox.
Oh my god.
There's massive price hikes coming ecosystem wide.
Massive.
There's giant price hikes coming to Xbox right now. Actually, Phil did an interview where he basically said, I can't promise anything, won't go up in the future. Man, I'm sure something will. We don't know, blah, blah, blah. You want to elaborate on that at all, Tim Doug? This price hike shit that everyone's running with, acting like it's Sony, already raising the price of the PS5 everywhere.
I know. That's the thing that I find funny about that is that a lot of Sony guys are like, oh, you see?
Same energy, man. It's like, you don't even know what the fuck's going on.
It's what is going to be 3 years that Xbox has kept its games for the most part at $60.
And first and foremost, we never said that the price wouldn't go up on Xbox games. That's the best part.
Obviously, everything's going to go up.
We said that they shouldn't. We hope they don't because we're looking at their bottom line.
I'm actually annoyed. I'm actually annoyed by this, and I'll tell you why. Because number one, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim. I'll go after.
Finish my point.
I want to hear this.
No, I just overall, it's stupid because you just look at, over time, games are going to go up. Game Pass probably will go up, but the fact of the matter is that I think he's just talking about the future. I don't think there's any imminent dates going that are going to raise stuff. I just think that he's basically talking in, just normal, like honest terms. There'll probably be a day where they raise their games to 70, I would say. But the thing is that for all the people complaining about that, there's also an option called Game Pass, which you could buy with $15 a month or $1 if you convert. So I don't see a price hike in the console. Absolutely not. Game Pass, when they start dropping 4 games, 5 games, AAAs a year, I could see that go up to 20.
Let me jump in.
And let me address Ice Cold real quick. On Twitter, I basically made a joke about all these people making a big deal about this, right? Acting like it's Sony that point blank did raise the price of their hardware, has raised the price of their games $10 across the board, has done a lot of things like this. And when I tweet out that it's useless fear mongering, addressing it on a podcast, how can we not go a show and not talk about something like this when obviously many people tune into the show and want to hear these things? It's common sense, right? So we're obviously going to give our thoughts on this stuff and basically shut down any stupidity that we're hearing. And that's kind of our role or a little bit of a responsibility, I feel, is to shut some of that down. So that's why, of course, we're going to talk about it. Of course, you weren't supposed to take the tweet that way. But, yeah, go ahead.
So let me jump into that. The thing that annoys me about this the most is if you listen to his direct quotes, because I'm just going off of what he says. He says that, at some point, they're going to have to raise the prices of their consoles, games, and our subscriptions. And he also said that, but we were going into this holiday season, we thought it was important to maintain those prices. But as for the future, blah, 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 I don't think we'll be able to do that forever. I do think at some point we'll have to raise some prices on certain things.
Certain things.
Now, the thing that fucking annoys me about this, and I don't care, as a fan of the platform, of course you're not going to raise prices because you haven't released shit this year. So even if you did raise the prices, you ain't got shit. So next year when you finally got some shit that you're going to release, then you're going to raise prices. So I'm sorry, the value of Game Pass was not brought forward to what their standards set, which was first party games this year. Yeah, no, there wasn't.
It
They
wasn't
didn't
worth
release
the money
any
you just
big.
said?
It wasn't. No, I'm saying for their promise of first party,
Yeah,
which we've
for their
coveted
promise.
for a
They
long
didn't.
time. First party AAA games was not here this year whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nope.
And he brought that up too. And
Well,
I
we got
think,
Pentiment
a very
coming.
thing.
We got Pentiment.
Like no, we got Pentiment
Hang on,
in like
just to be
next
clear,
week.
though, just to be clear. By the way, I just got an email about Pentiment. I'll be talking about that soon. But
So did I.
just to be clear, you're saying that because there were hardly any first-party games this year, right? Just like last year. There were 2 last year. That, well, there was 3 last year, Psychonauts. Speaking of my point, that it wasn't, they broke a promise or they had some kind of promise in place that Game Pass would have that, or, because
One
we've
of
all
the
said that
biggest
they should
things
have more
about Game
games, et cetera,
Pass-
but I'm just trying to be clear.
One of their biggest draws of Game Pass is first party games. It's
Yeah.
in their trailers.
Well,
First
not
party
really.
games day and date. Right? Like that's one of the big things. Xbox Game Studio, Xbox first party
Day and
games,
date,
and they didn't
yeah.
have anything. And this year, that really shows AAA quality games. That's just me as a gamer and what I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at.
asking you
And
about
so
the
for them to
promise,
say,
though.
so the promise of this holiday season keeping that price doesn't do anything for me because I'm like, yeah, of course you
No,
were, because
it
nothing's
doesn't.
coming out. It's about next year to me.
What about Pentiment,
No.
bitch? Ray tracing.
I fucking hate you.
I echo your sentiment there,
Zocker's
Zocker,
ignoring Peppa
completely.
Pig.
I echo
Chat.
what you're saying there, and I will double down by saying that it's unfortunate that they didn't have their first party offerings this year, and Starfield got delayed and stuff. And we could all speculate on next year, and we can even speculate on price increases. But the thing that bothers me the most is the fact that they had a good profit making quarter. And then, you talk about that. And then in the very next sentence, you're talking about price increases in the future. And I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. You're saying that it's profitable. And at the same time, you're telling us you're going to charge us more for it. And, I know things have to go up, but that value has to be put in place.
No, that
before
perspective
you
is
bring those
absolutely, that's irrelevant. It's very relevant because you're talking about raising prices from a multi-trillion-dollar company, and that's something that you do have to think about. And I understand business is business.
Because as a console, because as a console gamer, you look at what happened with PlayStation and even 2K games and stuff, and Activision. They're $70 now. Are you getting $10 more value out of those games? No, you're not. You're not getting $10 more than you got last generation. Matter of fact, you can play them on last generation
hardware. That's why I just
hardware.
avoid the argument, because you can't define values like for everyone's.
Yeah,
different, right?
I know everybody says, oh, it's subjective, but there's always that baseline there, and it was $60, $59.99, and now it's $69.99. And yes, we all know that that's going to be the new standard going forward, but it's just ridiculous when you see their bottom lines, and then you also see that you're not getting anything more for it. Fuck your adaptive triggers. I don't care. It's a gimmick. But at the end of the day, that's just how I see it. And it's like, you tell me about profits, that you guys are making all this profit, and then as a consumer at the same time you're saying, but we're going to charge you more. That's what I don't like.
And that's the same logic with PlayStation games that we talked about.
Same.
When we were talking about $70 PlayStation games, we were telling everybody, look, you don't need to guess what this did and how much this made, and look at their bottom line in the books, right? We know they're fucking profitable. We know they made a shit ton of money on a lot of things that were $60 and a lot of money. I mean, a lot. And there was no real cause or no real need for another price hike, because gaming is bigger than it's ever been. You got a bigger audience. You got microtransactions. You got DLC. It's making way more than $60 a game on average. And these guys are making billions a quarter on microtransactions alone. Invisible, imaginary digital products that you're buying don't cost them nothing to make. It's a massive profit margin.
And he said that like the Game Pass and all this stuff is like about 15 to 20% of like their overall growth. And he's like, I don't think it's going to get bigger than that. He said, I think the number of the overall market will get bigger. So the 15% is going to get bigger, right? Like in number value.
Yeah, I like the way he said that. That's funny, right?
It is. And it's not the main thing. Like he's like, subscriptions are never going to be the main point of what we do. right? Like it's not the main.
He's
draw to
downplaying
what
that
he's doing.
shit big
I
time.
think he
You know
is
that's what they're
downplaying
putting
it,
all their
but-
eggs into the Game Pass basket. That's what
I
they're
mean,
doing.
they are, and I think that's the big thing. But to me, the price thing is just kind of annoying because in the same breath, like Phil Spencer spoke a lot the last 2 weeks, like the last week and a
Oh,
half, whatever the hell
yeah.
it's been. He had a lot of interviews. He even admitted, like, yeah, we heard loud and clear that people want first-party games, big first-party games from our studios. And he like just admitted it, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, it's not the first time.
Like of course, it's not like it's not hard to see that, Phil. And then he even admitted that Bethesda hasn't really given them anything, and that next year it's going to be, you know, the final kickoff of like Bethesda giving them games with Starfield and Redfall. And it's like, yeah, then you're gonna raise the prices once we start getting that. Like to me, that's annoying. Like that to me as a consumer, because that's what we are,
Yeah.
fucking consumers, is
It's
that's
annoying.
annoying.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, they also have to give you, if they up the price, say the Ultimate's $15 now, if they up the price, you might be paying close to 20 or maybe even $20, and that's $240 a year. So you've got to give me $240 worth, more than $240 worth of content within Game Pass.
Don't they do that
So
like technically?
That's
Depending
no,
on who
I
you
mean
are, like, every
technically,
month?
yes, yeah. But I'm saying when it comes to like most people, I'm willing to bet that most people that do sign up for Game Pass are big AAA fans, and so you've got to give us at least one of those every quarter. You got to give us a big AAA game, a good game, not some
Talking like a
fucking
big
bullcrap.
AAA deal.
Yeah,
of
big
some kind.
AAA game every quarter, because that to me, that you know, at $60 a pop, that's $240 a year. That's perfect. 4 games. You give me at least that. All the other shit in Game Pass, you know, I like my indies and stuff. I like my AA's here and there, but those are just icing on the cake. That's not my main meal for Game Pass.
Chat,
at all.
let us know what
It's
your
AAA for me.
main meal is. If you're more of a AAA gamer or somebody who games and grazes on everything, but I think there's a lot of different points here that have a lot of different.
And I see the
a lot of
chat.
points that are good here.
And I see the chat saying like, well, you know, I've had value. Yeah, I've had value too. I've loved Game Pass. I've played a lot of games. Sniper Elite, a bunch of games. Dark Tide's still coming this year for me, at least on PC, right? Like there's a lot of games. I played strategy games on there. They have value for me. I understand that. But for me, I want Xbox Studios and them to give me even more value.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm a greedy fucking gamer. Of course I want more. And I want them to be better about it. So like that's why I will always show discontent towards that if they do that.
Plus,
Like,
a
if they start
multi-trillion
raising
company
prices.
never asks for less, right?
Exactly, and
D-Bad's
that's
good.
the big thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that there's games,
You're a little low.
genres. There's games and genres that we like on the Xbox platform. The reason why we're all into Xbox, you know, our Halos, our Gears, our Forzas, our Fables, you know, our Crimson Skies, you know, those styles of games. And it is lacking right now. Yes, Game Pass is giving me great value, especially on PC. I can cross-play, I can do all kinds of stuff. But you want those exclusives there. And I like the fact that he addressed it. The fact that he addressed it is telling me that they're doing something to remedy the problem, because that's the first step. You got to acknowledge it. So I like that they're transparent with that. And I've said it a million times. I'm tired of saying it. Once the ball gets rolling, we're not going to have this problem again, because there's just going to be games after games after games coming out. And I truly believe that next year is the year where we really start to see that. And going forward, it's just going to get bigger and better. And, you know, with the price hikes, you know, once we're getting a steady influx of games, I would expect them to raise the price up to $20. And I still think that would be acceptable, because right now we're getting a great value across PC, the Xbox consoles, the cloud. It's just undeniable. And you know, once that Activision deal, the dust settles from it, it's gonna have waves and repercussions that will last for generations, man.
I think specifically if that deal gets passed, I do kind of see them transitioning to $70 games and a Game Pass at $20. I think though that deal is going to be something where for them to really take effect, Zorker and I were saying 3 years for it to come to Game Pass. I just think that you can't really read so much into it or think that there's anything like happening tomorrow. There isn't. There's a lot of things at stake. Xbox is very price. You know, they know people want a good deal, and that, you know, their price, you know, their budget or their, you know, they want people to perceive value. So as Zorker said, you can't do it right now. It would be very bad if they did it right now, because they had 0 first-party big games. Phil even admitted that for this year. But when you're getting 4 AAAs and then you're getting COD all day one, and you're getting all these games, and it's gonna come. If they get this deal, listen, my take is even if they don't get the deal, they're going to be very dangerous because the next day after they don't get the deal, they'll probably get they'll get Crystal Dynamics and Eidos and overpay for them, and then go on from there. I mean, you're dealing with somebody that is targeting, it to take over Windows revenue. They want it at like 20%. You look at their lofty numbers. They're going to pump in money. So whether it's coming from here or there, they're going to want return on investment. And in the end, it'll probably trickle down to us. But if we're getting 5 to 7 AAAs a year, $20 for Game Pass, I don't think that you can complain much.
I would like to point out a few things here. Right now, PlayStation Premium is more than Game Pass. With quite a bit less, actually. When it comes to some of the things you might expect. Also, we've been saying this for years. It's obvious common sense that prices on, just like Netflix, everything else, this shit's going to go up. And I get what Tim's saying, 100%. You're going to be getting increased value and all that stuff for your money. And I'm looking forward to the day that stuff happens. Fonz, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, we know all that prices go up for all these subscription services every time, especially with the more value being added. But that's kind of my frustration right now with Xbox. And, I want to elaborate a little bit on that because this year, again, we've said it, first party and stuff wasn't there. But what was stopping them from getting a AAA multiplayer type game to be put into Game Pass? Even Gotham Knights or something like that. Like, I thought that they would have stepped it up and done something like that to replace Starfield at least, because that's a point of contention there with a lot of gamers like myself that are all about the AAA. And we're here for Game Pass and those AAAs and the day and dates and stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be a first party day and date. It'd be a multi-plat.
They got Pentiment, bitch. I told you.
And so next year, if they do have any more delays with games or in the years to come, I would just implore Microsoft to at least replace those games with other AAA games, even if it's outside of your studios.
I think that the problem is that a lot of the games that they might have targeted got delayed themselves. And then I also think that the Activision Blizzard deal, when that's done, I think Game Pass is going to have a massive revamp. I think that what Tim is saying is right. Like, they do want to subsidize a lot of the Windows, because Windows, Microsoft reported last week, Windows didn't do well. It was like 15% decline, like the Windows operating system. So Microsoft didn't report all that well. Gaming did. Gaming was profitable. Gaming reported very well. So they see the trend, right? Like, they're not dumb. And I think that once the ABK deal is done, I think Game Pass is going to get a revamp, kind of like a little bit of a makeover. And I think it's going to be console, and I think it's going to be PC, and I think it's going to be cloud, and I think it's going to be mobile. I think there's going to be a different tier for mobile gaming. And I think they're going to hinge on that. Like, there's going to be like a $5-6 mobile gaming only one where you get everything on Candy Crush or some bullshit, whatever. And I just think that they're going to be raising the price of the subscription or changing it. And that's going to be where a lot of the revenue comes, right? Because those Game Pass subscribers we talked about, like Phil even said, at some point, we've reached all the console gamers. And he literally says that in these interviews. He's like, I think we've kind of got to everybody we're going to get to. And that's why the 159%.
Again, I think he's downplaying shit there too.
I don't think he's downplaying the console side. Because I think it's 50, I think 20 to 30
because you know why?
million.
We're 2 years into the generation. That's it. We've got how many more years to sell consoles?
But you got to understand.
One at a time here.
But you got to understand, Fonz, that like next year, all those games are not coming to the Xbox One. So how many are they going to be able to sell? 10 to 15 million consoles, next gen consoles only in a year? No, they're not going to.
We don't know. We don't know. We
No,
don't
I
know
mean you
what
could
they're
just
going
look
to be.
through. You could just look through
Yeah.
history to me, right? Like
No,
history and
that
math.
many no, but I'm just saying throughout this console generation, they can't give you a firm look. It's only going to be 15% of our overall business, and we know this for a fact. Kind of answer.
I think they're more concerned about the cloud. I think they're going to get a lot more from the cloud, and obviously from PC.
I'm not saying that
and
they
that's where
won't
they're
get
gonna
more
it.
from here or there. I'm just saying that it's not going to be dead on console. They're going to get more than they're saying right now. I think
no,
a
it's
lot
never
of this
going to be
stuff.
dead.
I think a lot of this stuff is just he's downplaying it right now because the CMAs are still looking into him. Sony's crying like like a baby.
Let me. I just gotta say real quick. I don't think he was downplaying it. I think he's
downplaying it.
I think he was.
I'll tell you why I don't think.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
He was pretty clear with his wording. He said that on the consoles, he goes, it's most we see the numbers, the amount of people that have the consoles, and we see that there's not as much growth there because most of the ecosystem
Why isn't there
has it.
growth though, D? There's
But-
no
but
games this
because
year.
most of the people, let's just be honest here, most Xbox gamers, a lot of them have Game Pass, and he was talking about the PC growth. Now, in the last year and a half, 2 years, PC has grown at such a huge level. I've never seen it grow like
just from
Because
end of
there's
last
more
year,
games
just
there.
of
It's
just
not
of end of
and it-
last
and it-
year,
and it-
this
I think
summer, it was
none of it really matters a whole
159%.
lot, honestly. Ultimately, everything's going to keep growing. I think that was his point. But the biggest potential to grow is obviously over mobile, right? With every phone's a Game Pass device in the future,
Yep,
and then
yep.
PC,
Keystone.
and then console, and all this crap.
Keystone.
But again,
Keystone, then PC.
when-
yeah.
I do want to let Tim talk, and I want to get some of these chats, and then we'll move forward.
All right. So when Xbox wanted to announce, this is true. Xbox wanted to announce 25 million subscribers for Xbox Game Pass, and Phil was against it because you don't want when anything with Game Pass. When you listen to Phil, you have to realize that if he says, "Oh yeah, it's doing amazing, it's doing great," why does that make his job harder? It makes his job harder because he has to now deal with third-party devs that said, "Oh, I saw what you just said on IGN," and we're gonna need some more money for our games to come to your Game Pass because obviously you're doing so great, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when it came to that, and knowing Phil, I've known the guy for a while. I've known him inside and out. Like when I talk to him in real life or out, and when I see what he does, when he does something like that, he's just emphasizing the PC end of it. Okay,
Yep.
He's putting PC on a pedestal, and he's saying, "Let's not worry about the console." And the reason why he's doing that is basically he knows, and we talked about it here. PC right now is their eye of the pie of the sky right now. So they're gonna focus on that. They just got this Dune game that's supposedly huge. You probably know about it, Zorka. Just announced for PC
Trash.
Game Pass. That's Stranding. You're going to see a lot of those PC-centric moves that, obviously aren't playing on console because it can't for whatever reason. It's just basically a play on words. There is listen, all you need to know is the 70-30 break right now for Xbox getting outsold by Sony. If Xbox made a big play, let's say the Activision deal comes through and everyone just sees it's just better, and you cut that down to 60-40 or 55-45, because I do think Sony will always kind of have a little bit of lead just because globally you're talking about a difference of 15%. That's 15% more people that can go to Game Pass. So you have to just take those words by him and just realize what he does when he does that stuff. He's not putting down console. He's just putting PC on a pedestal and saying, "Hey, this is our focus."
Well, I
One thing I
always
want-
right now.
Go ahead. We need to wrap this topic up too. But go ahead, Xavier. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, so I'll talk really quick and I'll let Fonz go. But the one thing I'm looking at, and you're right, like, yeah, it's the PC stuff. I get what you're saying, but it's also the future of what you can see. Like what they've already announced. Like the PC growth is nothing compared to what it's going to be next year and the year after because of what we saw at E3 this year. Like the Riot Games deal, I think people are not giving enough credit. I think that's once that kicks off next year, that is going to be fucking massive. They had 180 million active users like at one point. Valorant, all the League of Legends, like That's a
Yeah,
massive
it's
thing.
nuts.
So to me, it's not. I don't think he's downplaying the console. I think if you look at what they're signing and what they're doing, it's plain on the wall. It's right there.
There's
You can
a lot of
see
money
what they're
there,
looking at.
right?
There is a lot of money, and I
Also,
think
No,
I'm not
no,
saying
no,
that the console's going to stop. I don't think he's like we've reached
No.
everyone. It's done. No, they're going to keep growing.
Mhm.
To me, I think the max, and I've said this before in private parties. I've said this before. I think on here. I think they're going to get about 25 to maybe 30 or 35 million people on console, and if they get that, that's fucking insane numbers from just console. Like that's
Also, too-
like foundational.
True.
Also, too, if we look at the numbers that they released last week, it was 159% gross.
For just
growth
PC.
for just PC
With no
So
games.
he's
With no games,
definitely not-
exactly.
Well, no, there's
Yeah,
different
he's not
games over there
downplaying
that's
it
not
at
on the P.
Yeah, but
It's
trust
not
me,
on the
it's
console.
nothing you're
That's the
missing out
thing.
on.
It's-
It's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
these
nothing
PC
big.
guys like it.
Yeah,
So
well,
I mean,
sh-
there's a difference.
Wait until Genital Jousting comes to Game Pass. It'll be great.
No,
That'll-
the
Yeah,
biggest one, like I said, the
have to-
biggest one this year was Total War. The Warhammer
have
Total
to
War
re-
game is
but-
huge.
That's why I have to reemphasize this, and this is why growth was stifled this year for Game Pass on console. There was no big AAA games to drop first party in Game Pass this year. They didn't go out and get a multi-plat AAA game at the end of this year. Like, there's a reason why it got stifled this year. Next year, they should see some more growth.
So there's a lot of room left to grow with that. Hundreds of millions of users on PC globally, right? That install base is already there. Instead of having to build one from the ground up like they're having to do with Series S and X, they're kind of dipping into that one that's already there, and I don't blame them for expanding and trying to bring those guys over more and more. But I will say that, again, as Svans just said, we didn't have much this year to compel people to subscribe to the service. This is purely driven by just value in general. Hey, how many you want hundreds of games and some online server, whatever? This much a year, and that's a great value already. It's no wonder that, yeah, of course they might raise the price up and maybe make it a bit more expensive in the coming years, as we've always known. At the end of the day, let
Plus
us
the
know your
family
thoughts,
deal.
guys. Family deal, all that stuff. It's going to be there.
Hopefully that mitigates a lot of stuff, right? Like if you could share with 4 or 5 people, whatever the fuck it is, for however much, like, cool. Like unless that gets raised too, right? Like which I expect it to.
We'll see.
But like
And
I said, I
there'll be
think
people to fall off when it raises, right? Just like Netflix. A
Oh,
lot of people
yeah.
are like, I'm not subscribing no more. But that's something that they're willing to accept. I'm sure they're fully aware of that kind of stuff. They can count higher than we can. $multi-trillion company. By the way, we got a shout out to over 1,000 people watching us live, guys. Thanks for tuning into Real Deal Xbox Podcast. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy to we're live. We do appreciate it as we do continue to the topics. But Zalka's got some chats we're gonna go through. We're gonna give you guys a shout out, and obviously while he gets those queued up, I want to give a shout out to Only on Xbox. Shout out to King Asante, K Asante. We've also got Capono and Boba Fett, Ashtray. We got our moderators, Boss Motley, the Papa, Obi-Wan, and many others. Purple Tree Frog, you guys are amazing. Are you ready?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. All right, so I got Risk It. He did say, but going into this holiday, we thought it was important to maintain the prices. He specifically mentioned the holiday. What's your take? We just talked about that. Sorry we got there a little late, Risk It. And we have another one from Risk It. He says, when the value of something goes up, so does price. It's just business. $70 games are inevitable, but raising the console price, no, that's bullshit if they do.
Yeah, I don't think they will do that. But
I
I
don't
also
know
don't
if the
believe in
console-
the value raising price either, because they tried to say Destruction All Stars for $70. I think
Yeah.
I think most of it's motivated by greed. We've been over that a million times, but at the end of the day, a service like that offering what will be pretty much the biggest games every year for the most part, that's massive, and that's something to be considered.
Wait, hold up. A lot of people in the chat are arguing with me about the games that were dropped this year into Game Pass, and I'm telling them it's not AAA games, though. And they're like, yeah, but who cares? It's just the budget. I care. Many other people,
people do
care.
care.
Like,
Phil-
you saw
even
how many
Phil-
people wrote in the
even
chat
Phil
that they
acknowledged
subscribe for
But that's
AAA
okay. Like,
games.
they're allowed to disagree.
Phil even acknowledged that. Listen, you can't say with a straight face. I don't even remember in the worst of Xbox years when they had 4 devs. Did they have not? There was always one release. There was always a Halo. There was always
Something
a Fable.
big.
There was something big. You just never heard of nothing. During holiday.
2017 was one of the
Yeah,
worst years, and
I-
it still had
It's
Halo
true.
Wars 2, and that
Yep.
game is fucking amazing.
And I'm not crapping on anybody who liked Grounded or Plague's Tale or Deathloop, but I didn't like them. I don't care for
Right,
those
but even
games.
if you did like them, it's still the argument is still
They're not AAA.
It's the first party. Listen, we've talked about this.
that's an argument in itself right there.
Yeah, but in his way, I think we're all paying the subscription for what the first party's doing. We're doing it because we want Gears, Halo, Fable, all those games. That's obviously where the core is. I think, or what, and Phil acknowledged it. So you never had a year where it was like this. Now that was just because they were a victim of circumstances, but in the old business is business, and what have you given me lately? They're definitely to be tasked for that. But when you hold that when you bash them and say no games, just remember they got a shitload of games in 2023. So for the people that are really on top of them right now about that, you better have some excuses when Xbox is piling up games and you just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be pretty bad next year in a good way for Xbox. It's been bad for a bad way for Xbox this year. But for Xbox fans, forget about it.
Yeah.
They are loaded. And will they get more delays? Yeah. You might see a 3-month delay with maybe Starfield goes to the holidays. But you're going to be playing these games in 2023. Those games are not going to be delayed out of 2024. I guarantee you that. I will leave this show and leave Twitter if that happens.
You're gonna leave Twitter? Really?
December 31st, 2023. He's like, I gotta go, guys. I made a promise.
Listen, you can hold me to my word, but that's just not happening.
Again, if they need to get delayed again, I can't argue against delays. If it means they're getting an actual product that's done, I can never argue against it. But I'm not confident that it will happen again. So I think you got a lot of merit there, Tim. There's a lot of stuff coming out next year, and hopefully that stuff gets here sooner than later. Phase 23, Brooklyn, New York says PlayStation Premium is $120 a year. Xbox Game Pass is Ultimate is $180 a year. I mean, you talking about that all in 1 month? What about monthly payments and the just plain Game Pass? And we'll ignore some of that stuff, but do appreciate it, brother. Danny Passion, by the way, says no complaint about Game Pass. Game Pass is $10 a month, not $15. That's a good point.
Well,
also,
Ultimate is $15. Yeah.
He's just saying the base one, right? You can get the rest of these out. I get these next
I got
topic
it.
queued up.
Yeah, we got Raiden Blade, member for 20 months. He says, Fonz, sorry, but what do you call Plague's Tale? Day and date in Game Pass. Game Pass will grow once the new games are released. We just have to wait. But ABK, yum.
I call Plague's Tale boring to me. I'm not a fan of those games. I don't like that franchise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to define value on AAA or not because it can be classified as visually at least, as some kind of AAA. So you just aren't interested in it. So I get what you're talking about, though. You want games that you're a little bit more interested in. And I was kind of surprised by the lack of those deals as well this year.
Was, like having Deathloop in there. A roguelike, man, I don't like it.
Yep.
Don't like it.
Go ahead, Zuck.
Sorry.
We got Shogun's a member for 37 months. He says, look at me. No one wants to Shoguns. No one wants to.
Shout out to Shoguns. He's a moderator?
Yeah, we got Hargeet. Me and Hargeet have been in parties a lot talking about the Game Pass stuff. So this is what he said. All games coming next year are next gen only. 17 million series consoles sold so far. They've got to sell a lot more consoles for Game Pass to grow. Assuming a good attach rate by end of gen, maybe 80 million consoles sold to 30 million subscribers. And that's 80 million is, I think, very wishful thinking because that's the best Xbox has ever done in its history with the 360, and that was
but this is
a lot
already
due.
Outpacing that.
I know it's outpacing it, but I don't know how long this gen's gonna last, or we don't know anything, right? Like, to me, just in my head, I'm like, statistically, I'm thinking, 60.
I feel like this has got to be a 10-year generation to even begin to really get the most out of your hardware here because it's 2 years and they haven't even really leveraged anything hardly.
There's no way it's going to be 10.
I mean, it could easily be 10 with this generation with how these things are
with
built
the
out.
Technology, the way tech is, everybody's going to be like, no.
Nah, I think it could be. But 8 to 10 years would be something I would expect, maybe.
We got Andre says $5. With all the bad news on Sony is still outselling Switch and Xbox USA in the UK.
Proper English, Andre.
Oh, Plague's Tale Requiem is not AAA, guys.
Anyway,
Sony is selling very well. Sony is selling. I think they have almost a
no. It's
million,
just it's
7
not.
million.
It's a fact.
I mean,
it's
visually,
not.
yes.
Look it up. Look it up, though. It's not.
There's 3 A's for a reason. Do you know what they are? No. Hey, Calypso. Shout out to you. He says
Fonz does like things.
Fonz does like things. Don't
Gotham
believe
Knights
Fonz.
is
He
one of
does
them.
like them.
Big open world action adventures, RPGs. Yeah, that stuff's my jam. But stealthy, slow.
You just don't like
games,
stealth games.
No,
yeah.
no.
Fonz is a very particular man.
I like Plague Tale
likes
better
speed.
than Hellblade. I'll tell you that
He
right
likes,
now.
he likes Batman.
Hellblade's too slow too.
He likes Padme from
And
Star Wars.
He likes Robin.
Yeah, he likes Robin from the third person.
I like to wear tights.
Hey, Calypso says, I hope the show goes off without a hitch. Great weekly topics. Keep this hitting.
Finally, some good topics.
Keep hitting the grind. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, exactly, Raiden. Now you got it. I like PlayStation games. It's exactly right. You hit it on the head.
He does want to pay the $70.
Except for Horizon Forbidden Trash. Don't like that one.
And then we've also got another one from TK Chillin. He says, hey guys, I'm old. I need a game. I need games now. Yeah, I mean, we're all
I'm
gonna
old.
have,
I need games.
We're gonna be old
Exactly.
as
We're
fuck by
getting
the time these
older.
come out, man.
Oh man.
And then we got another one from Yo
Cool.
Donnie. He says, y'all hear Scorn is the first FSR 2.0 title. Yes, I heard about that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What a game that needs it, huh?
Yeah, but
It's
point
a very
is that
good-looking
they're
game.
using it, and that's good. Shout out to you, Donnie, though. Member for 21 months. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to all the members and all the people in the chat. Almost 1,100 people watching live. Do appreciate you. Gaming has been a little more dead, since, I don't know, Xbox had that event and said, fuck off, come back in a year. But thank you guys for still
There's
tuning in.
been some good
and-
games, man. The last month, man. The last month and a half. There's been some really good releases. That like Gotham Knights to me is amazing. COD, and then we got God of War next month or week, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general,
Obi, what are you doing? I'm paying for verification on Twitter. Fuck it.
What?
Fuck it. Obi is gonna pay for his verification check mark.
He wouldn't be the first. Somebody said, Colt said.
Doesn't Obi like never buy games, but he's gonna buy that piece of shit?
Obi-Wan buys some games.
I love Obi.
I love
That made me
Price
laugh.
hike
Obi.
stuff, yeah, it's inevitable. Like as is common sense, it's inevitable. Eventually, it will happen, but not fear mongering it now. Not gonna run it into the ground with the bullshit. Sony already acted on the shit, and we didn't even stay on that for more than a few weeks, and they literally did it. Right, raised prices on everything.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna definitely harp on it, and not now before it's
They
even.
still
a
don't
thing.
have day and date, which Xbox has, which is pretty much the best value in gaming going Game Pass.
Pretty much, even with no games, Tim Doug. No games. Hey, did
So
you know that Embracer Group already shut down Eidos Montreal, and out of that comes news that they were actually
They
working
did?
on they're working on
Yeah,
Fable.
I think this is a big deal.
What?
I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Let me hear that.
So
Yeah, tell us,
let me give it to
Oh,
Tim Dog here. Eidos
dealer?
Montreal working on Fable with
And
with those guys.
And let me ask you a question. What Embracer also owns part of Crystal Dynamics, correct?
Yes,
they
they
own
do.
Crystal Dynamics.
They own
And
them.
aren't they working on a game with Xbox?
Yes, they are.
A Ninja Turtles game.
Okay, so now listen. At first, I think that it was premature to kind of connect the dots here, but now you got two situations where you see a trend, and you see a trend that's very, very strange. Now, the reason why I say it's strange is because you don't send. I'm trying to draw an analogy, but you don't. When you have workers working in Microsoft or working with Microsoft,
Oh, it wasn't Eidos Montreal. My bad, I misspoke there.
studios,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Right. So, but they
mobile
are right. They
Noma.
downsized.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way
Yeah, I
they
misspoke.
shut down.
My bad.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, fucking Eidos?
My
Really?
bad. Misspoke.
No, so
Go
he's
ahead,
wrong.
Tim. Go ahead.
So,
piece of shit.
but the point is that I just think that it's just very strange that you have workers from your company working on another project, and what is it for Microsoft to why those devs have to have some kind of contract or something's brewing. You could say something's brewing. So is it possible that these two groups or these two studios that are under Embracer, are being held right now in flux of the ABK deal? If that gets done, I don't think there's going to be any done. I think this was brought up by a couple of people on Twitter. Jez, I believe, talked about it. Now so listen, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but I do think that you have the ability to ask some real questions about this, because like I said, you don't have people come from to work on another another developer and then be sure that they're not going to leave you. What's to say that all those people that are working on on Fable, or they're working on Crystal Dynamics, say, hey, let's try to, let's have a deal with Microsoft. So they kind of, I think, have to have some type of a kind of a framework of some type of deal going on, and this is something that you got to keep your eye on.
It's a little more weird to me that, like, I'm reading
It's
it right now.
interesting,
So
yeah.
according to
Interesting.
Bloomberg, the move is likely to a cost-cutting measure, as Eidos Montreal is reportedly reducing the scope of one project and plans to cancel another one. Eidos Montreal is also reportedly helping Microsoft to develop a game in the Fable franchise, though it's unclear if it's serving as a support studio for Playground Games' Fable project. It appears similar to the deal that Crystal Dynamics has with the initiative to co-develop Perfect Dark. Now, to me, that's a fucking massive red flag again. Because what is going on at Playground Games? Like 2.5 years ago, they had job titles of up to like 175 jobs for this game. So like, why are they bringing Eidos? Like, I mean, is it that big of a game where they just need 500 people on it? Is Fable going to be that big? The other thing is that's a little concerning when you look at what Embracer Group is doing to them, right? Taking scope down. Maybe that's why, because they can't make anything that's going to make Embracer Group money right now, right? They're just working on Microsoft shit, and they have contracts, so that's why they maybe killed the scope on some of their games. I don't know. I think Tim, you do have a point. I think that there is something brewing, but also, like I've said, like there is something brewing with games.
Between the two, you have some great franchises.
Let me give you guys this scenario. Both games come out. Both games are absolute hits. And now people are going to want sequels. I could just see the Microsoft and Embracer kind of just either cut a deal where they get that portion of the studio or whatever, maybe minus some IPs, or they get those group of workers. Because when you work on a game, you fall in love with the game for the most part, I would think, with these developers. So I don't know. I just have to see this. To me, it benefits Xbox much more than it benefits Embracer, in my opinion, because I could just see these developers. A lot of great
franchises.
These developers could just say, "I want to work on Fable" after it's done. And you can't, you can't tell me otherwise, Embracer. I'm leaving, and then they lose all these developers. So I don't know. It just lends for that discussion. I don't think it's at a. There was a point where maybe you couldn't make this with the first time this happened, but now you could definitely ask these questions, because we already said that there's a lot of weirdness in it, and you're connecting the dots and you're saying something like that. Like, if these franchises come, and then they're big successes, I do think that I think even before that you could see some type of deal. And if Xbox wasn't a part of this ABK bullshit, I do think that Xbox would have definitely bought these studios.
I got a question. I mean, is this really all that abnormal? Like, with support studios and stuff like that, pretty common. We've seen
not in this way.
Well, I know
though.
it's a little bit, it's unique, right? But I'm just saying that it's just the red tape of acquisitions that are making it that way. I don't think that it's a lot of people are kind of creating drama around the fact that there are people helping out with Fable, for example, right? And
that happens with every game.
I don't think that's anything to be concerned with.
Bad. I think the Playground has proven itself with his pedigree. But and this one wasn't public. This was uncovered by the Jason. So listen, I just think that there might be something there, to be honest, and it would make a lot of sense for them to either come to a deal if they need these developers for the future iterations of these games.
Well, Tim, how about they use Crystal Dynamics developers to make a new Legacy of Kain game or something? How about that?
Well, I think
that is true.
I do think that they do own Tomb Raider. So I mean, a deal for Crystal Dynamics
Legacy of
the
Kain
way it
too.
is, Legacy of Kain. But it would be very interesting, and like I said, if the ABK deal does get shot down, I could definitely see them just like being like, throw them a blank check and be like, we're gonna start, really,
we're gonna give you some money.
We're going to talk about this a little later, but I think after the initial, shock of what CMA did, and we'll talk about it later. I think this ABK deal is probably going to get done just the way that Xbox is talking.
Let me give a shout out to One Bad Mother. I think he has a great point and something I thought about myself. He says definitely a path to basically getting these devs on Microsoft games and Microsoft Studios, right? So any kind of connection like that, yeah, they can potentially draw in some more talent, and I think that's kind of a big point. We've seen it before, poaching talent from some of these studios. It's something that happens everywhere. It can't be changed. Phase 23, Brooklyn, New York, by the way, says God of War Ragnarok, $20 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. God of War Ragnarok releases Tuesday. Metacritic predictions from the panel. I've always said 90, 91. That's what I'm giving. That's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking, Tim?
What was it? What
God of War Ragnarok, Metascore. What do you think?
92.
What do you think, Zachary?
I'll go 93, 94.
Stop copying me. Fonz?
105.
All right. And then we've got D.
91.
91. So 91. Now we'll see. Apparently it's pretty good. So let us know if you guys have played it or watched the trailer. Shout out to everyone watching live. Hit the like button. Tell everybody we're live. We do appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Bushido and everyone else. Risk It. All the other people in the chat. We do appreciate you guys as we.
Did you see what the developer said about it?
Which about what?
The developer working at the lead animator said that they couldn't utilize the entire breadth of the PS5 because they were beholden to the PS4 basically, and that they aimed to make the best PS4 game, and so that means they couldn't utilize the PS5 like full features.
Isn't that like
on God of War?
Yeah, I mean, didn't we already? Yeah, of course. Like it's on PS4, and if their game design is limited, which he's probably talking about animations, right? He's an animator. That's all CPU bound. So yeah. They ain't got any more room on the CPU on those.
He said that they wanted to take 20. He said they wanted to take 2018's game and just expand on it.
Yeah,
Just fine.
There you go.
Which I would expect them to do for a sequel to something like that. I wouldn't expect them to radically reinvent the wheel.
We're fucking held back.
Yeah, we're held back by the PS4.
I'll say this though: next year, 2023, I don't want to see any more cross-gen games. That's it. I think
E-Bash is getting the belt out.
We've given them enough
He just
time
said, tired of this shit, son.
to make their money off of all the consoles, to milk it for a little bit more, and it's time just to go full next gen, man. So no more of that stuff. But that being said, the game still looks fantastic. Even the original game when it came out, to me, like it was ahead of its time. So
yeah.
It's really all about nothing. And the game's gonna look fantastic.
If you look at what he said he's the lead animator. He's saying that we're held back because he wanted to do things like better animation, stuff like that, expand the world, blah, blah, blah. Visually, the game can pretty much look as good as it needs to look, but game design is being held back, and he's definitely right. That's what we've always preached. It's something that they didn't. I mean, again, but then it's hard to tell because 1 year Horizon Forbidden Zero Dawn
They couldn't fly, and then all of a sudden they're flying.
Yeah, so it's just like, what do developers learn this year? Again, like I said, every 2 years they come forward, they figure it out. But, oh well. Let's talk about what's in Game Pass.
Can the developers just learn how to fucking, optimize their games, please?
Well, some of them can, yeah. But right now, we're going to move to Game Pass for time's sake. We got topics ahead. But there are some things in Game Pass funds. Let me know if you're interested in any of these this month. There are...
it's probably no.
You can play these today, right? Legend of, how do you even pronounce this? Tianding?
Then it's a no.
Tianding? Yeah. You might like that one.
Wingding? No, I don't.
Wingding, okay. The Walking Dead.
No.
You don't like the Telltale Walking Dead games?
Oh, I did play those. They were good.
What about Football Manager 2023? You like feet?
Hell no. Well,
you don't like
Return
feet.
to Monkey Island?
Well, they've also got Ghost Song. You like Ghost or Songs?
I don't know what that is.
November 3rd.
So no.
All right. And then we've also got Return to Monkey Island. I know you like Islands. That's November 8th. And then we've got Vampires Survivors. You've got to like that.
Everybody. No, I'm not even joking. Play Vampire Survivors.
Oh man, you know what?
Vampire Survivors is one of the most
shot.
addictive games and has some of the best.
I'll give that a shot because you were
played.
talking that up not too long ago. I remember you talking about that.
It like blew up last year or this year, I think, and it is one of the most addicting, stupid games, and it's so fun. It's
coming to Game Pass
play that
November
for about
10th.
10 minutes.
It's on Game Pass. It's been on Game Pass PC for a little while now, and then now it's coming to console. So they made a console port to it, and so now it's coming to console for Game Pass. It is so damn good.
When's Starfield coming? That's what I'm wanting.
It'll come November 10th, and then we've also got Pentiment. Ray tracing. November 15th. I'm joking about the ray tracing. I can't believe I have to say that.
I heard it's amazing.
Somerville. That's from the creators of Inside, Limbo,
Yep.
one of the best games of
You know
several
what?
years
That
back.
one, that one, I'll definitely try out because Limbo was great. Limbo was great.
Do you know when that's coming out, Fonz?
November 24th. I don't know.
15th.
God, Fonz, we need you to just come locked and loaded with some information. All right, November 15th. That's when it's
Mold.
coming.
Who's the
And-
lead janitor at that studio, Fonz?
Lee Persons.
Janitor Squad, roll out.
He's awesome.
Water Egg 38.
And of course, there are new updates for Sniper Elite, giving you some free map there for the up close and personal map. All that. It's a weird thing with lingerie. And then they got the Halo Winter update, obviously included with Halo and Game Pass and a bunch of other stuff like that. Sea of Thieves. What's that called? Return of the Damned or something like that. They're doing something November. Did you hear about this, Delker?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll be playing it.
What
yeah.
is it?
Just, they just add some more stuff, man, like little stories, telltales, and all that, and you just go and do them.
I'm starting
and
to think they're just calling the people left playing that game the Damned.
I mean, I'm not. I listen. I just hunt the people that go do that shit, and then they're like, and they'll yell at you open mic, man. They'll be like, "Can't you leave us alone?" And I'm like, "No, bitch."
I gotta take a second though. Somerville. It's from Playdead. Like that studio, Inside, Limbo. Like, yeah, big leap from Limbo to Inside. But
Oh, really?
that's their next game, man. It's coming November 15th to
Oh,
Game Pass.
shit.
Fonz, you liked Inside, right? Did you try it?
Yeah, of course. I played it, beat it.
You like
Remember,
it?
you turn into that thing at the end, and you're just
Ah.
like, "What the fuck?"
One
did
of the
I just
craziest endings in the world.
Play? Mm-hmm.
Memorable.
Yep.
4-hour-long
Yeah, if
game.
you
but
played
worth
it, you
every
would
dollar.
know. You would know. It's fucking weird.
It's amazing. You
But
know
it
what
was
else
fun.
is
It was
amazing
fun.
or potentially amazing?
Dark Tide, by the way, is coming to PC Game Pass at November, like 29th, is what they said. So
Oh, nice.
So Dark
God.
Tide,
Yeah,
and
it's
the-
not
and
coming
the
to
demo-
console though.
a lot
It's not
of people have played the
optimized for it.
demo, the closed beta demo, and
That's
and it
trash.
was. I've heard very good things about it. I'm looking
Hey,
forward to it. Capano said that he's not going to hype up anything that Zalker hypes up. He's like, can't trust him. I was like, so you hate Gears of War, man? Damn.
Leave
that sucks,
Capono alone.
Capano.
What is his picture? I don't remember. It's like a
Kimono
little-
Dragon.
Dragon.
miserable.
Kimono Dragon sucks.
Oh, okay. Well, Atomic Heart, hopefully that doesn't suck. Release date apparently leaking from a reliable source at Illumia Italia. Like they've leaked some stuff
Risk
before.
it. Take it easy. Risk it. PC, no one cares. No one cares that God of War win gold except for you too, bitch. on.
February 21st, Atomic Heart.
Zocca is a toddler.
That's Atomic Heart. That's like one of the most next gen looking
That
games,
is-
at least, right?
Yes, that one looks really good.
But that's
Really
not
good.
AAA Fonz. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I know, but it looks fantastic. It looks fun. It doesn't have to be AAA to get me excited for a
God.
game, but they have to have AAA games in that thing. All this other stuff, including Atomic Heart, are icing on the cake for me in Game Pass.
Yeah. Well,
That's-
Atomic
that's
Heart looked
just
amazing. If you guys
Yes,
watch the
it did.
trailer, let us know. And then, yeah, that's November. So you got Pentiment, you've got Vampire Necksuckers, and then you've got Somerville.
Wait, you said that's in November, Atomic Heart?
No, I was going back to the previous thing.
Oh, okay.
But,
okay.
uh,
So it's
Atomic
like,
Heart's
that's not-
February. or
February
something
21st.
Like
That's
that.
a leak, quote unquote.
Yeah, next year, yeah.
So, you know, not this year like some people might have thought. I don't know why.
No, because
I thought
they
the
did.
ABK deal was supposed to be done this year.
I thought it was
They
done
were
back in
talking
September.
about Atomic Heart was tentatively titled for December, and then it got moved.
Tentatively
So-
keywords.
Tentatively.
Whatever. Tentacles.
Tentacles.
If you're wondering what to
Tentacles.
expect from EA in quarter two, it's absolutely nothing. A lot of mobile games.
Oh shit!
I thought vampires. Fuck. I thought Jedi Survivor was supposed to come out.
Who knows? They're
That's
not
what
saying.
Jeff
They're
Grubb
not
said.
saying it at
It's
least.
aimed- He said. I think Jeff Grubb said it's March. He said that from what he's heard. It's March.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
aimed
saying,
for
like
March.
EA. That's what they're talking about. Mobile games. Obviously they're not going to tell you something now
Wee-mo.
before they have to. But yeah, what do you think about this one, Tim Dog? Resident Evil producer opens a new studio. His first quotes as the lead of the studio is "fuck Xbox."
Did he really say that?
No, he didn't. I just made that up. But he
Oh
he
my
is working on a
gosh.
new.
Oh, this is news.
He's working on a new IP that he's trying to impress the entire world with. I have no idea what that could be. Because Fonz, it's going to be hard.
Bad start.
Hopefully-
Fuck Xbox.
Yeah, I think we're still stuck on fuck Xbox.
We've
I
heard
hope
it.
it's
came out of
I
nowhere
hope
'cause
it's
he
with
paused.
zombies.
Hmm.
I love Resident Evil, but he's making a new IP. Is that what it is?
That's apparently what he's doing. He's trying to work on one. He's whittling
I
it
think-
away.
I'm kind of thinking it's going to be like probably a same type of game as Resident
Oh,
Evil.
for sure.
Well, I would hope. Don't go doing a board
Horror
game.
genre. Yeah.
Oh no, board game, no.
He's like, everyone will be impressed with this. I don't know. Chat, let us know if you know what it is or what you
Resident
think
Evil
it might
card
be.
games. Yeah.
It could be. Could be a little card game.
Oh, jeez.
As long as you got
Better
ray
be
tracing.
60 frames. And 60 frames.
I'm gonna be a fraud right now. Marvel Snap, that new card game that came out,
Oh,
is fucking
shut
fire.
up. Don't you fucking did it.
It's so stupid
You
fun.
will freaking just champion every fucking comic book game there is just to be like, I love it. Every time a new fucking comic book game comes out.
Hey,
I don't know.
You're
I'm
right about
side-eyeing
DC,
Marvel
though.
Sons. I'm side-eyeing Marvel Sons. I'm like,
Oh, are you? Until you play
yeah,
it.
it's kind of. I want to play it. I'm gonna give it a shot, but I'm side-eyeing the shit out of it.
I'm side-eyeing this
Snap.
comment here. Sauron Great, shout out to you. This dropping last gen will ensure price increases. We will see. I don't know, multi-tier, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
We've also got Highlander. Shout out to you, buddy. He says, great panel as always. It says Game Pass grew and PlayStation Plus lost subscribers. Yeah, that's actually a topic. We'll go into that briefly. But yeah, Sony go day and date. Crunchyroll. He's taking jabs now. Shout out to you, buddy. And Papa Baco, he says, nothing to say except for great show and awesome panel. Just needed to send dealer chat so he can make new NBA player again.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
He's got
I'm
like
done.
50 days
I'm
in
done.
NBA 2K.
I'm done
Yeah.
making them damn bills. I told you, I'm done. But that was a nice.
You need to stop playing that fucking game.
You need to play a game, damn it.
I played a gajillion games. You need to get
A
off every
gajillion
time
games?
you're on
You play
NBA.
Mr. Potato Head
Steam
3
Deck,
job
damn
now.
it.
I don't even
He's
shit.
on
First
his
of all,
Steam Deck.
first of all, hold on. Don't ever disrespect Brotato, bitch.
Bro,
It's
you
Brotato.
fucking Brotato.
He's
Get this
playing-
motherfucker
he's
to play
playing-
everything but an actual like fucking game that takes more than 10 minutes.
He's
I
playing
don't-
Gotham Knights on his Steam Deck at
He-
10 frames per second.
His Steam
Don't-
Deck. What's the guy? Hey, you guys were champion on the Steam Deck like a couple weeks ago. What's it run like on that?
Steam Deck.
Actually, I'm getting 30 frames on the Steam Deck.
You're a fucking liar.
No, it's 30 frames
You're
on
a
the Steam Deck.
fucking liar.
Hey,
not
what-
on Gotham Knights, bro. I've seen
No,
fucking
it's
people
30
running at
it's-
10
dude, it's- you
frames
gotta
But
be
per
we're
second
seeing
on that
benchmarks,
thing.
remember? And the benchmarks
It's not
will tell
60,
all.
dude. It's not close to 60. You just
It's not
put it
even
down.
30,
There's-
bro. It's not
if
even
you go to
20.
if you go to Steam DB, people have settings in there that you can follow, and if you want 30 frames, you want 40, whatever, they found the things to do it.
You can get
That's
it.
the
Not
whole
on
point.
Gotham Knights.
Zoka is a toddler.
It's
Inky.
an unoptimized turd for a 3090. You're not getting 30 frames stable on Gotham
Listen,
Knights
they're
on your
running at a
Steam
480i,
Dick.
low set. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to point that out.
480i? Oh, okay.
For interlaced, bitch.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
like
480
you're like thinking
interlaced.
1080p. You're like thinking 1080p or 14. No, man, like Steam Deck resolution.
Is
You put the
really
settings
low.
down, and then you put it there, and then you have FSR on, and you get 30.
What about something else besides Steam Deck? Let's go ahead and move forward. So yeah, the Resident Evil guys.
You brought it up, bitch.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny. The EA is apparently sending in an advanced probe into Microsoft, Activision, their internals and whatnot. And after the CMA thing that just happened, Tim, when they clearly demonstrate they didn't know anything about how this stuff works, and the double standards for Sony and Microsoft were clear. Now they're sending in an advanced probe. This one is made of titanium, I guess. And what's going to be different with this and the EU thing over the CMA thing? Is it better that we get those guys in there because some proper knowledge may be dropped?
Yeah, I think. Listen, when you heard CMA arguments, I mean, let's be honest. It sounded like a playbook from Sony. It didn't have any facts. It had things that were incorrect, like they talked about that Xbox promised gamers to be all multi-platform Bethesda. We all know that wasn't true. We started the show with Phil when he made his announcement for that. But up until that point, nobody knew what was really going to happen. We said if they don't do it, they're absolutely stupid. But there was a time where nobody knew what they were going to do with their games. So, listen, the CMA thing, I just shook my head when I saw that because I just felt like, it didn't give me confidence that that they're going to play fair, to be honest. That's the way I felt, honestly. And I felt like, this deal is going to go through. But to think about it, with the way they're doing it now, when you're dealing with actual facts and stuff, the way Xbox also responded to CMA, they destroyed them because everything that they said, they put it on paper and they backed it up with facts. They weren't doing hearsay and bullshit. It was the CMA original Phase 1 bullshit. Sounded like freaking Nicola or a fanboy wrote it. Like, it was that bad.
Nicola.
But yeah, but when
You're such a fraud.
when
the CMA.
no, but when Xbox responded to it, I felt like they did a really good job. So, but the thing is that Phase 2 and this UA second phase, you deal with real. You have to have things on paper, and it's like there was Truth Seeker just had an article that and it was an analyst, and he said 80% this deal gets done, and if you get I put it up on my Twitter, but you can look it up. And one of the things, the biggest point he made is there's no legal grounds to block this. And especially if you're going to put, and Xbox is going to put this on PlayStation for as long as PlayStation is either one, operating in a good faith, or two is you don't sign something for an indefinite amount of time. So that's why Phil said what he said, and or had 3 years contract. And that 3-year contract, I got news for you, Xbox fans. That could be even an extension of what they have from 2024 to 2027. That's still up in the air, but they were including them, and they plan on including. They're going to treat, I think, most of Activision's multiplayer games as multiplats, and I think that the single player new IPs and stuff like that. Yeah, you'll probably get exclusives that way, but it's probably be like a 60-40 cut multi-plat, in my opinion, 70-30. But the bottom line is that when you're dealing with this, and you have to have faith in some regulators, that you can't just go on bullshit. And the numbers, in fact, back Xbox. You look at the sales of COD, 70-30. Okay. It's in PlayStation's favor. They obviously, you look at they just posted a record earning for the most money ever for a quarter two for any company, video game company. Sony is locked in its position as number one. There's other companies like Tencent, other companies that are ahead of Xbox, they're generating more money. And Xbox is not big in either thing. They're not big in mobile, and this deal is mostly about mobile. They're like number 7, and that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the console space. You can argue that they're last place, or they're out of the console makers. And as far as Call of Duty, it's probably going to go to more platforms, cloud, and Nintendo. There's just no legal grounds, in my opinion, where Metaverse is just like Phil said. It's a shitty game that nobody knows what the hell's going on with. Basically, Metaverse hasn't formed itself where you can even make a complete argument for or against. It's just nobody knows what it means. Yeah. So throw that argument out. What are you going to block it on? What legal basis could you really block this deal on?
I'm scared. That's what.
The only thing you can hope for, if you don't like Xbox, the only thing that you can hope for, in my opinion, is for CMA to be corrupt and actually, not just under the table deals, because on a lawyer basis or on a legal basis, I just can't see a way where you can make an argument that Xbox is going to take over gaming, even if they put themselves in the position where they have cloud, and I guess that's going to be their biggest
that's not what some dragon-based individuals say, though, Tim Dog. It's corrupt countries now.
But and let me finish this point. And like Xbox said, make PlayStation better. Make your subscription better. Mm-hmm. Stop making it shit. Get it there first day. Get some PC on there.
Yeah.
Or God forbid, have a cloud infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Spend some money on yourself or on your whole model. Xbox has been losing money, but guess what? They've been investing in Game Pass. They've been invested in cloud. They're doing a good job. Sony's doing shit. And there's no legal argument to say, well, do you just want Sony to be lazy and do nothing, and they get rewarded for that and get exclusive deals for the rest of the duration? I mean, it's bullshit. So I just think that Xbox is gonna, and you can hear it the way they talk. Phil just had some comments. They believe the deal's going through, and I think that's just because their legal team's like, let them try it. We'll go to court and we'll just obliterate them.
I gotta say, from that interview that Phil did, first of all, I thought it was a great PR.
Which
move.
one?
The one recently on the Same Brain podcast, where he was talking about the Call of Duty, how it's gonna remain on PlayStation as long as Sony has a platform to be shipped on, and similar. And he went into fine detail, similar to how Minecraft is, and how eventually we actually expanded it to other platforms. So if there was any doubt that this game was going to remain exclusive, or if it's going to be exclusive on the Xbox platform, he kind of put that to rest. And I believe that is one of the big things that Sony is arguing right now is, oh, Call of Duty, it's going to leave PlayStation gamers and we're going to lose so much revenue. So he really addressed that once and for all. There should be no doubt on that. And I agree with Tim. There should be nothing stopping this deal now. In fact, I think Sony's really full of it, because the way Sony came out is like basically, oh yeah, Microsoft is just saying we're just going to get it for 3 years and that's it. And we're finding out that's not the case, that they want it to be there as long as they have a PlayStation. And when you see the numbers for 100 million, it all starts to make sense. So I see this deal going in sooner than later. Phil seemed pretty confident, and he was like, yeah, I'm really confident in this deal. I think it's gonna, wrap up early 2023, and I think it's gonna be a done deal. So I'm confident in it. And like I said, him just saying that in that interview and that getting out, because of course regulators are gonna watch that. He's speaking with them. That's out in the press. So there's nothing stopping this deal now. It's gonna go through, and I can't wait until that deal goes through. It's gonna be such a great thing for Xbox.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Mac Bound in the chat. Also, Nano Polymac Capono. We got Mr. Bushido. We got Bedtime, Back for Bed. We got Greg E3 Egg. We got Ashtray Gaming, Boba Fett, Hargeet. Shout out to you, buddy, and so many other, including Fonz's brother, Alfonso Mendoza. Shout out to Alfonso Mendoza. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think on that. I feel like it's always been pretty cut and dry here. And even if they wanted to hold the shit off PlayStation, it should still go through. It ain't none of their fucking business what it does or don't do. They could clearly compete, and they just don't really want to. It's a lot of revenue, and that's really the only thing they care about. And it just reminds me, everything that we're going back over this again. I'm tired of talking about this Activision shit, but hearing about it, Sony acting like they give a fuck about the gamers when they raise the price of their consoles in all territories but the United States. Inflation don't exist here, guys. Oh, also the games. I mean, every single thing points to that they don't actually give a fuck.
Yeah, they just want that, like we said at the beginning of the show, they just want to be able to money hat that game. That's first and foremost. That's what they want.
But yeah, risk it, by the way. Shout out to him. Super Chase is not as simple as going to court, though. The process is, yeah, it's a long, he misspelled that, but it's long and complicated. And if it does go to court, Tim Dog, that's a W for PlayStation. Either way, it's going to go through, I would say. And I mean, if they can delay it, that's probably the best they can do. But I just don't even care at this point, honestly, personally. Like, if they delay it, if it goes through, I just want this thing to be over with so Microsoft can focus on something else. Also, shout out to almost 1,100 people watching us live, guys. Hit the like button, tell a buddy we're live. We do appreciate you guys for pushing us through and giving us the energy to talk about this shit over and over. Hey,
yeah,
by the way,
of that topic.
Speaking on the subscription stuff and all this, Sony loses nearly 2 million PlayStation Plus subscriptions or subscribers. And that's after their service revamp, right? I just want to throw that out there real quick.
Why?
Now, it's worth noting, Fonzarelli, that they are making more money. Customers are spending more money. But over the last 3 months, they have been dropping in subscribers. And it could be a number of factors. I don't know offhand.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Well, number one, I think it's the content within and the price point, especially when you look at the premium service. It really has nothing going for it for the $20. I mean, you're not getting $240 worth of value, especially if you've played all the PlayStation 4 games already and stuff. It's not there for you. The other thing too is a lot of people on that side, they don't need PSN to even play the free-to-play games and stuff. So, and they're used to that. They've been playing like that for forever now. So to get people to be enticed to buy into their service, they really need better games. They need day and date games. That's what they need. Even if it's multi-plat games.
PlayStation Plus specifically
Yeah,
47.3 to 45.
I think it's everything because it's all encompassed now, right? It's all like encompassing, like PSN.
But this is the third annual quarter in a row, so yeah, this has been happening for quite a while.
Yeah, but since the revamp, though, when they've added all these, I mean, this services together with PSN, again, to buy into it for those people that play free-to-play games and stuff, or multiplayer games, and they don't want to jump into this service, there's nothing there for them. Most of them have played those games. We've seen, you know, and the Sony guys even said it, you know, themselves. They're not there to play old games and stuff like that. So, I mean, they got to put new games in there then. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's a service. Like you've got to give people some freaking value
did they
there.
Did they lose 2 million? They lost 2 million from the just PlayStation Plus, right? Like the thing that gives them multiplayer, right? Like that's the one. I want to be completely.
That's what I was trying. That's what I was saying. I think it's just PlayStation Plus specifically, but
I think it has
also
to do with
since the revamp, so I'm not really sure.
I think it has to do with a little bit of confusion because I'm getting ready for God of War, so I was just kind of fucking around on the PlayStation, looking around, and like the way you sign up for that stuff is like very weird. Like it's like essential, and then like this, and then what? And I'm like, goddamn, which one is the one where I just get like my games every month, right? Like those two games,
the very
right?
first tier.
Like I'm like, is it the first one? Because there's all these check marks. I'm like, this is kind of like I don't know. I just don't like it. And honestly, it might be a little bit of what Phil Spencer was saying. Like maybe they reached the max of what they're gonna get on console. Like there you go, and they're selling like.
Why would that be though? When they're going to sell so many more consoles?
Well, I mean, why is it going down if they're selling more consoles, right?
Because
like that's
every
math.
other factor in the world. That's why
there's no value there. There's no value to most gamers, I should say. Of course there's some value.
I mean, I think the value of playing with your friends online. Like if they see an influx now,
you don't need
COD,
it. You don't need their service for that.
Don't you need it for Call of Duty multiplayer? Multiplayer, yeah, you do. For Call of Duty
multiplayer games, you don't.
Like for free to play games, and so I think that the third party games that are not coming out, basically Call of Duty is the only one that's come out this year where you have to kind of pay to play. Maybe they'll get an influx now with that one. But then again, right, like Grand Theft Auto was still there, stuff like that are massive games. Who knows? Honestly, like to me, I think it's a little bit of a telling. What I think it has something to do with what Phil Spencer was saying about the console stuff, and I do think that they're going to go down a little bit, and that's why they're looking to expand. So yeah, because the top tier gives you like, you know, you can stream on PC Cloud, you can stream here, you get these games, but I think it's a little bit of everything. I think they do need to get the first party games in their day and date, and I do think they need to expand where the platform is because I think they're going to reach a limit at some point. And not to mention, right, like if you look at the sales everywhere else, like, you know, outside of the, you know, the big ones, like, yeah, Sony dominates a lot of places, but Japan has gone down drastically console sale wise, and to the point where who was the developer? Was it Capcom? Or somebody said that basically like the Japanese market is not sustaining their games anymore. Like they got to go through other avenues.
Frizzle's funny. He said Sony doesn't have multiplayer games, so their customers don't need PS Plus.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of weird though, because I mean, Games of Gold wouldn't exist then if you're talking about no value. You know, like I mean, what were the two games this month?
For Games with Gold, shit and shittier.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, like it's really bad. Like those, and they're not going to get rid of like, what is it, like $1 billion, $2 billion a year, whatever the hell Games with Gold or Xbox Live gives them are still. Like they're not going to walk away from that money.
You walk away, even though technically we shouldn't be paying to play on multiplayer. That's bullshit. But offer some better stuff or absorb that cost into Game Pass or do something, because right now it's like wasting money on two shitty speakers for a system you're never going to use or something. Like it's just the way it's just there. It is a speaker, but it sounds like shit. It smells like shit. Probably was somebody used it as toilet paper. I don't know. But long story short, don't waste money on that kind of stuff. I guess spend it on thumbnails for Zouker.
Yes,
hey,
I agree.
Anyway, that's our last topic, man. You're such a good sport, and our chat's the greatest. I want to give a shout out to everyone again. And, let us know your thoughts, man. ABK is still a thing. People are saying it's threatened by this new probe. And, obviously we give our thoughts. We do want to say, let us, again, know your thoughts. And follow these guys on YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. We're going to do some outros. And then we're going to go play some games and then eat and stuff. So yeah, again, let us know your thoughts. We got a few chats here, Zach. You want to grab these? We'll do some outros.
Yeah, let me load them up. Let me find them. I have.
Shout out to all the
Scroll
mods that
to
are
see,
chatting.
huh?
You guys are awesome. Thanks for crushing down on the random sex bot that showed up.
And
Okay,
thank you
so-
to Hargeet for sending the super chats
Yes.
to Zocker.
Yep.
Hargeet's always
Appreciate you, Hargeet. Hargeet's the man. So we got Risk It. He says, not as simple as going to court, though. The process is long and complicated. If it does go to court, Tim Dog, that's a W for PlayStation. Yeah. I mean,
Go
we
ahead.
got Risk It again. He goes, proof game subscriptions don't work.
awesome.
Fail. We got Danny Passion Official says, Fawn, Sony has AAA bangers, but not enough value.
Nah, they got old AAA bangers in their premium service. They need
Matters.
Yeah.
something new.
They got like when you look
They
at
got
I looked
great
at some
games,
of the,
but
they
I
got
played
some decent games on there. Like I was looking at the subscription service. Like I was like, I'd play this. I'd play this. Like there's a couple games in there, but yeah, they're older. Like it's not the new games. Like you gotta bring people in with new games. So
Yep.
yeah, that was all of them.
Hey, shout out to Jedi Knight Peter. Shout out to Video Game. What is that? Adaptation news. Shout out to you, as well as Ashtray Xbox. We got Madness. We got Base 23 Brooklyn. Shout out to you as well. Hargeet. Everyone else in the chat. I always look and again, I just want to say thanks for doing what you guys do. Hit the like button. Fonz, tell people where they can find you and what you've been playing, buddy.
They can find me at Fonz Gaming right here on YouTube, and I've been making videos lately. I made one last week, and I made one this week as well, and my podcast, of course, every Sunday. So I've been making content, people. I can't believe it. So if you have not seen the videos I put out lately, go watch them. I think they're decent. Okay, I'll say that much. And I'm not biased at all. They're decent. Anyways, I've been playing Gotham Knights, and like we said at the beginning of the show, I'm saddened that it's 30 frames and it's not really well optimized at all on any platform, and even on the console, it's like in the outdoors, it rarely locks to 30 frames. That's how unoptimized it is. But indoors, it's pretty much a lock 30 in most places. That aside, though, the game is pretty fun. I'm having a lot of fun with Red Hood and Robin. Those two characters are amazing. Just so much fun to play and so diverse. The thing I think I like about this game most is that, you know, you got 4 characters to switch out, and you can switch on the fly anytime you want. You can just like grab another character, you know, before the mission starts and everything. You can get somebody and play them. But they're so diverse in their skill sets, and they're so different. Some have better crowd control than others. Some are better single target. Some are just ranged. Some are melee based. And it's just, some have better stealth than others. Things like that. It makes the game fresh. And that's what I'm really liking about it right now. So playing between Robin and Red Hood, they're so different. It's really fun. I've even played a bunch with Batgirl, but she's not as good as the other two. But
That's opinion, Fonz.
Yeah, it is an opinion. I don't think she's as good as the other two, but she's got some cool moves.
Stupid.
I don't know what Tim's drinking, but I'll have one, please.
Long Island iced tea.
I just think it's funny how you like that. You love the game.
No,
That's
look,
the Chronicles
Tim,
of Fonz, really.
I've never been somebody who it will shy away from being wrong about something. I'll never do that. I'll always fess up to something. I will try games that look appealing to me at all. And honestly, it was Zocker and Colt Eastwood that kept praising this game day in, day out. Oh my God, this is so fun. This is so fun. And I relate to Colt a lot with most of the games because
Grounded tomorrow.
No,
I'm
not a big fan of that. But he plays Grounded with his kids, and I get it. You know, that's a perfect game to play with your kids.
Brandon and his child.
Like the AC, like
It might be.
the AC games, Assassin's Creed. I love those. Colt loves those. Zocker loves those. And so them talking this up and telling me, look, it's kind of like that in a way, and you got these superheroes. That's pretty cool. I was just like, dang, they're talking it up so much that I went to CD Keys, and I found it cheaper, and I bought it there because I'm not paying $70 on this game. So I was happy with that. I was like, okay, cool. And I started to play, and honestly, like, it just gets addicting. And again, that grind that's there, it's not much of a grind because you pick up stuff all the time. You're not farming for materials. It just comes to you. So upgrades are pretty easy to do, and it's just fun. It's addicting.
Told you.
Yeah, I you know what? I think with superhero games, you can get a lot away with a lot. I'm like you, if or a Zorker, like I'll probably play it too and like it. I mean, how could you? They have a pretty decent formula to work off of, just in general. So if they get things halfway down decent, I think that we'll just generally like the game. You know, look at Galaxy. That game that came out by Square Enix, Montreal.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That had bad reviews and everyone loved it. I mean, I played it. I played about half of it. I loved it. It was.
I don't think it got bad review. I mean, it got a few, right?
It wasn't like, you know.
Wasn't it like an 80 or something, or a high? Maybe it was a high 70.
Yeah,
and I was like,
no,
what the fuck?
it was. You know what it was? I just think it just didn't sell. That was the thing. And I think that's going to be the case with this, which is kind of surprising. Just, you know, and we got, you know, also, what was the game? Marvel Heroes. Remember that game? Or the Marvel game that came out that we kind of hated too, or wasn't that good. They just haven't been a good streak of these games, in my opinion. To me, any superhero game, I think that does it the best, honestly, is Insomniac with Spider-Man. That's like should be.
And they hit 60 frames. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
awesome.
you got to give a shout out to Phase 23 Brooklyn, brother. I did get it. We all sat here for about a minute and gave our predictions for God of War Ragnarok right on the show.
Oh yeah, we did get it, dude.
Yeah, I think Tim said 92, Dealer said 91.
D-Batch said
D-Batch said 91. I think, what did you say, Fonz? 92?
105. 105.
Oh, 105. I said
105.
90. I said 93 to 94.
Yeah. But thank you. And Tim, what have you been playing? Where can people find you, bud?
I've been playing Persona 5. Actually, really enjoying it. I'm about 15 hours in. It's about a 120-hour game. I'm into it.
It's good. That's good.
It's like a dragon. I like quirky games like that.
Let us know your God of War meta predictions, by the way, chat. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
No, I just that's all I've been doing. I've been playing on the cloud. I have Modern Warfare. I did purchase it. I want to try the campaign. And I think there's a couple of games coming out for Xbox that look interesting. Pentium. Listen, I'll play Pentium.
Pentium?
What is it called? Pentium.
Pentium 4 processor.
I know someone that told everyone to go get a Pentium in their computers. Remember that? If everyone listened to that person, then everyone would have new computers tomorrow.
What's that person's name?
Anything.
What's that person's name?
What was his name? What's his name?
Pentium 3.
Pentium 3, yeah. So, Tim, you're at xCloud Tim Dog on Twitter, correct?
Yes. And I won't be here next week. I'll tell you later why I won't be here. But I will be a following show. I look forward to it. I thought I was going to miss today, but luckily I didn't. I had my job cut short. But it's always great to see you. Great to see you guys. Great show, and nice to see everyone show up. I think that we'll finally start to get some good stuff. Like maybe when the awards come out, I'm hearing good things. I think Xbox is definitely gonna show up big there. But good show tonight, guys.
Yep.
Alfonso Mendoza says he's still on the Pentium 4 hyperthread.
Oh, you got to be on the Pentium 4 hyperthread. That's your brother, by the way. Also, Fonz, you told him where to find you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Fonz Gaming.
Fonz Gaming. And then D-Batch, where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
On Twitter, D_Batch. On YouTube, D-Batch. I dropped a video yesterday. I'm playing Gotham Knights. And I just echo what the rest of the panel said. Fantastic game. I don't know why it got such a bad review either. It needs to be optimized, of course, and I think that's going to come in due time, but I'm enjoying the game. And of course, Call of Duty, amazing game. If you're on the fence on this game, just go out and get it. It's definitely worth the buy. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm excited. Thursday, AMD will be announcing new cards, so I'll be doing a live stream of that. It should be very interesting. Apparently, it's going to beat the 4090, which would be quite a feat. So Let's see what happens. That's going to be a very interesting
Do
stream.
you
on
actually
Thursday,
believe that, though? Has AMD actually ever done that?
Yeah, that's what I was
in the
wondering.
last 10 years or so?
AMD's last generation, the 6950, actually did beat the 4090. They lost in ray tracing though, so
Oh, it
they beat
didn't.
them in masterization.
You mean the
And the
3090? It beat the 3090.
I mean, sorry, the 3090 and the 6900 XT was trading blows with the 3090, but they lost with ray tracing
They
and of
lost.
course DLSS
They
to
lost
push
big.
NVIDIA over the edge. But this generation, it's appearing to be different. The GPU is going to be it's not monolithic. It's going to be it's MCM, so it's going to be basically a chiplet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like their CPUs?
yeah, it's going to be crazy, man.
Did you say a chiclet?
A chiplet.
Chiplet?
Means they can
Oh,
strap
chiplet.
multiple of these shits to one.
Yeah, more than
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's going to be 5 nanometers, 6 nanometers. Anyways, all that information is coming out Thursday. If you want, if you're interested,
That's hot.
just
make a video,
step
D.
to my channel and watch it live with me. Actually, watch it live with me, and of course, I'll do a follow-up video.
D, you should record it and just make a production video on all of it, and everybody would give it thumbs ups, multiples.
Yep.
I just might.
Hey, by the
Chiplet
way,
thumbs.
God of War predictions. Mac Bounds says 92. Bushido says 99.9. All right. Jedi Knight Peters says 94.
In reality, I will say it'll hit a 90. It'll hit a 90.
105.
Is that like a 6.5?
Then your business says 93. Ashtray says 88. And then we get one more here. The next one I see. Actually, I might have skipped past. Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you. And then we've also got Zalker. What are you
Thank
playing,
you.
buddy? And where can people find you?
You guys know where you can find me. Zocker87 on YouTube, Zocker87 on Twitter. I've been playing a lot of Gotham Knights. I have like 30 plus hours on it. Loving every single minute of it. Story's amazing. Gameplay's amazing. Characters are amazing. World's amazing. The game is just great.
Okay, that's
Side
a little
missions are
much. The
super
world is
in-depth.
not amazing.
I
that's
mean,
where
I enjoy
will
it.
differ.
I'm enjoying it. Take it easy. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. Take it easy. And then I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer. I haven't really jumped into the campaign. I'm enjoying that a lot. So I just, it feels like COD, and it just feels great. A lot of the maps I'm seeing, like I said, Newville. They're bringing back old maps that I loved back in the day on the original Call of Duty. So having a great time there. And then I've also been playing this game on the Xbox Series X called Warhammer 40K Shoota's Blood and Teeth.
Oh
It's a side scroller, like you play as an orc, and you just shoot shit, and it is brutal fun. There's blood everywhere.
How do they
It's
spell
stupid.
shooters?
Shootas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, dude, trust me, it's a really good game, man.
Shoota's
It's
Blood
really,
and Teeth.
and I think it's co-op too.
Blood and teeth. I
Yeah,
love it.
dude.
All
It's like it's a $20 game. It's fucking awesome. Just check it out, man. It's really cool. Look at the
He
previews.
spent $20 on that and how much on everything else, but he can't buy a mic. Fuck.
Fuck.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have a mic now. I'm just not home.
Oh, did you buy it? Did you buy a new one? What'd you pick up?
No, I fixed my old one. I fixed it.
Oh, you turned it on?
Shit.
No,
He
I plugged it in.
He plugged it in.
Plugged it in.
Hey,
Fuck me,
No,
USB popped
follow
out.
Zalker87 on YouTube and stuff.
So yeah, that's all the games I've been playing mostly, and then waiting for God of War next week. Literally taking Friday off because I want to play God
I think
of War.
I may do
for
the
free.
same. I think I may take it.
Y'all
I'm
can
taking
hang
that
out,
Friday.
drive to each other's houses and play couch co-op. Hey, shout out to Fire71. He says, just popping by. I'll listen to the show tomorrow. Here's some money for the show. Y'all are the best podcast in game. Wow. Followed by Uncle Colt. I didn't know he was your uncle. And, of course, the Sauce Man. He's talking about gas. Shout out to you, brother. Do appreciate you, man. Seriously. And then we've got Alex Bell. He says, if a game is cross-generational PlayStation, but only Series S and X, the game design will still be held back on Xbox? ? Sorry for the late question. It all stems from starting with most likely PC anyway. So if they have plans to bring shit to PC going forward, you're not targeting PS5 spec as a base, most likely anyway. So PC, basically to blame. Fuck PC. And then, also, depending on what they want to do. Most games
console casual.
Most games don't need all the craziest hardware in the world to do what developers really want their games to do, but I'm sure there will be some examples. But thank you very much.
Boba Fett Gaming said, name a game that's not fire. Red Dead Redemption 2. There you go. Just helping you out.
Fuck you, Stalker. Piece of shit.
Zoka is a toddler.
Yeah. Now follow me at iSpace Dealer Space II on Xbox Live, playing a lot of 2K and Call of Duty. I'm already like level 35, 30 or so. I know some of y'all have already prestiged or whatever, but it's a like I said at the beginning of the show, it's fun. It's a nice change of pace, but, obviously still playing 2K pretty hard. Got my builds figured out and done making them, I think. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at dealer_gaming. I will occasionally tweet. But, yeah, best place to reach me, Xbox. Follow me here on YouTube. I'll probably release a video this upcoming week. I didn't do that this past week, but the 2 weeks before that I did, right? So it ain't that horrible.
Make a video, bitch.
Yeah,
You know
make a
what?
video. And
Dealer
make a
likes
video.
DMs. DM him on Twitter.
Don't DM me on Twitter. The best place to DM me is on Xbox.
The only
I
way you'll
released there.
contact dealers if you say, "Hey, NBA game,"
Yep,
and then he'll be
that's
like,
true.
"Sure."
If y'all want to squad up, let me know.
Just title it "Feet Pics" and he'll open
I
it.
will click on those too. But
By
yeah.
Russell Westbrook feet pics, and you'll definitely answer.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Shaq feet
But yeah,
pics.
I'm gonna save the show from these two, and I'm gonna go ahead and just quit this shit. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we're gonna go.
Oh fuck.
I like feet.
It's a rap back. It's a rap.